Hello students, welcome to Oliveboard. This is Tanvi and I welcome you all for your session of important reasoning question on linear sitting arrangement. So today I'm going to cover 25 important questions from your linear sitting arrangement. So I hope all of you are ready for the session. So just tell me in the starting if I'm clearly audible and visible to all the students. Okay, if I'm clearly audible and visible. Okay. Right, so let us start today's class, and before starting the class I would like to inform you all that we have already started RBI booster batch on our platform YouTube channel, right? The same platform where you are attending the session right now. Okay, so every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. you have your strategy session by Riti ma'am. Okay, earlier we used to have reasoning session on Monday at 8 p.m. but this timing have changed at least for the month of June. In the month of June, I'm going to take this session on every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Okay, right, the same time that you are attending the session now. Okay, and every Monday at 9 p.m. you have phase 1 GA by Arzu ma'am. Every Tuesday 8 p.m. you have your quant session by Mayank sir. Monday to Friday 8 a.m. you have your PIB news. Every Friday 9 p.m. you have your government schemes by Arzu ma'am. And every Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. you will having the session of PYQs by all the faculties. Okay, so this is your whole RBI booster batch, right? So let us start discussing this. And before starting the session, we pledge for your success. So students, today I'm going to cover 25 most important linear sitting arrangement. So in your 60 questions of reasoning, in your RBI Grade B examination, you have 60 questions from the section of reasoning. And out of the 60 questions, there will be 40 plus questions from puzzles and arrangements. And in those 40 plus questions of puzzles and arrangements, you are going to get around 5 to 10 or sometimes 15 questions from linear sitting arrangement. So this makes this chapter very important. So that's why I'm bringing this session for you all, where I'm going to discuss 25 most important linear arrangement questions. So I hope all the students are ready for the session. Okay, so I request you all in the starting to share the session with all your friends who are preparing for RBI Grade B examination, who are about to appear in the month of July for RBI Grade B examination, so that they are also going to benefit with this session, because the session going to be very important, because this is the most important topic of your subject, right? So share it with your friends, like the session, and also subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed yet, because you are going to get a lot of helpful sessions on this platform which are exam focused for your RBI Grade B examination, right? So let us start the class. So here you have the first question. So I'm giving you 5 minutes to try this. Okay, I want you all to try this question, giving you 5 minutes for this. So just make a solution and then I'm going to discuss with you all, because this is the only approach that we could follow in sitting arrangement. I cannot start just reading the question and solving, because then your understanding remains zero. Okay, so you must try it yourself first and then I'm going to rectify your mistakes. Okay, let us start this. Okay, so I hope all of you are trying this. I hope all of you are trying this question. Okay, so let us start this. So should we start discussing this question now? So you have Nilesh. So name of the people are Nilesh, Sneha, Mohan, Sushil, Tina, Aman, Varun and Vikas. There are 7 people. Okay, there are 8 people. What I can find, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think I have marked positions for 7 people. So it should be 8. Yes, it should be 8. Okay, so they are sitting in a straight line, but not necessarily in the same order. Okay, some of them are facing south while remaining are facing north. Now this is your whole information. So the first thing that you should do while solving such questions, always mark the left and right of north and south facing, because that is always going to help you. What you have to do, you have to mark an arrow for north facing and define their left and right, and you have to mark an arrow for south facing and define their left and right. Because what happens actually in such questions, that you people make mistake in the left and right only. Already you have a question where there is a combination of north and south facing people. So it makes more confusing for you to decide where is left and where is right. So it is always better to write this. So that's, this is definitely going to increase your speed, because you're not going to think now. You're just going to see where is left and right. and also accuracy will also be improved. Okay, so this you should do for every equation of linear arrangement. This thing you have to do for every equation. So now let us start this question. Now some of them who are facing south, who are facing north, it is not mentioned. Okay, next is that Sneha and Aman face opposite directions. Sneha and Aman face opposite directions, and Aman sits fourth to the right of Sneha. Okay, Aman sits fourth to the right of Sneha. Okay, so here I am not sure whether Sneha is facing north or south. So let us suppose that either Sneha will be facing north or Sneha will be facing south. Okay, so if Sneha is facing north, okay, so Aman sits fourth to the right of Sneha. Right of Sneha means here Aman, I'm going to write. And other cases, if Sneha is facing south, then Aman is fourth to the right of Sneha. Okay, so here I'm going to write Aman, right? So yeah, here what we have to consider, Aman sits fourth to the right of Sneha, and this makes two possibilities considering whether Sneha is facing north or south. So what we are going to do, we are not going to pick the next line. Now we have to pick some line which is connected with Sneha and Aman. Okay, so I can find that. Okay. Right. So what we find here is that Varun is third to the right of Sneha. In the last you can find Varun is third to the right of Sneha. So you have to write towards right. So in the first possibility, if I see about Sneha, okay, so because he says Aman sits fourth to the right of Sneha. Okay, Aman sits fourth to the right of Sneha, and here Varun is third to the right of Sneha. So if Varun is third to the right of Sneha, so Varun will be written here with Aman, and in the second possibility Varun will be written here with Aman. Okay, so any other information that we have, let's pick that. Okay, and Sneha and Aman, both of them are facing opposite directions. So in the first case, Aman will be facing south because Sneha is facing north. And in the second case, Aman will be facing north because Sneha is facing south. Okay. So any other information that we can connect with Aman or Sneha, let's find that information. Okay. So here we have that Nilesh sits second to the left of Aman. So Nilesh is second to the left of Aman. So from Aman, if it is saying left of Aman, so here I am going to write Nilesh. And in the second possibility, now I need some space for second possibility. I'll just write it again. Okay. So it was Sneha facing south, and here leaving 3. Here we have Aman. Okay. And next to Aman is Varun. Okay. And Aman will be facing north. And Nilesh is where? Nilesh is actually at the second to the left of Aman. So second to the left of Aman means here I am going to write Nilesh. So just count how many persons are there in the row now. How many persons are there in the row? Sneha 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm just combining the information and then I'm trying to expand that information so that I can fit it in my row. Okay, so I have already expanded it to 7 positions, but in my row I have 8 positions. Already I'm covering 2 possibilities. So just find some information that increases this relation between these people from 7 to 8. So which information can I pick? So you can find this, that both the immediate neighbors of Sneha face opposite direction. Now how this line is going to help me? Now he says that both the immediate neighbors of Sneha face opposite direction. That means Sneha have 2 neighbors, means Sneha cannot sit at the corner. So this suggests in the first possibility, now Sneha is here, right? So before Sneha there is 1 person, and in the second possibility after Sneha there is at least 1 person, and now you can count, this makes 8 people in both the possibilities. Now I can put these 2 possibilities in my row. I can take the solution in my row now. So is this much clear to you all? Okay students, kindly confirm me, is this much clear to you all? Yes? Correct PK, both the neighbors of Sneha suggest that Sneha is not at the end. Okay, kindly inform me. Right? So now we are going to fill all this information in my row. Right? So in the first possibility, first place will be vacant and second will be occupied by Sneha. Okay, who is facing north. Next, after leaving two positions, next I am going to write Varun. Next I am going to write Aman, who is facing south here. Okay, and then after leaving one position in the last, I am going to write Nilesh. And if I consider the second possibility, here the first one will be Nilesh, right? Leaving one position, next I am going to write Aman, who is facing north here. And then after Aman, next will be Varun. Okay, after Varun, leaving two, you are going to write Sneha, who is facing south here. So this is how you are going to fill the whole two doubts in our row. So I hope this much is clear to you all the students, right? It is just PK in the session, but I can find 7 watching. So I request you all to confirm me, because if you have any doubt in the sitting arrangement, you should tell in the mid, not in the end. Okay, because if you arise at any doubt, you are not going to understand afterwards. Okay, so next thing, now we are just going to connect the lines now, because we have already made some solution. Okay, we have already started with the row. Now we are going to just pick the lines which can be connected with my solution. So underlined lines have already been used. Now let us find any information which is related to Nilesh, Aman, Varun and Sneha. Okay, so here we have some information related to Nilesh, that Mohan is at the 4th position with respect to Nilesh. So from Nilesh, Mohan is on the 4th position. So in the first possibility, starting from Nilesh, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I am going to write Mohan. And in the second possibility also, here I am going to write Mohan. And in the last, he says about Mohan that Mohan is not facing north, means Mohan is facing south. Okay, Mohan is facing south. Okay, so any other information that can be connected with this? Okay. So here you have that Varun sits second to the left of Tina, means there is a gap of one person between Varun and Tina. Although we are not sure where can I fill Varun and Tina, but still we understand that there is a gap of one person between Varun and Tina. Okay, so where can I fill Varun and Tina? This we need to think, right? So in the first possibility, I can write Varun and Tina on these two positions. Okay, and in the second possibility, I can write Varun and Tina on these two positions. So, okay, Varun is already written. Wait, Varun is already written. So there should not be any doubt about this. Okay. So in the first case, Varun is written here. So Tina can be written on this position or at this position. And in the second possibility, again, I have a doubt about Tina, means Tina can be written on one position out of these two positions. Okay. So any other information that we have? So here we have that both the immediate neighbors of Varun face same direction. So both the immediate neighbors of Varun face same direction. Now if I check the first case, here both the immediate neighbors of Varun are Mohan and Aman, and both of them are facing south. So this is correct. But in the second case, both the immediate neighbors of Varun are again Aman and Mohan, but Aman is facing north and Mohan is facing south. So the second case will be wrong. Okay, first case will be correct, right? So here what we are going to do now, we are going to consider the first case only. We are going to ignore the second possibility. Now we understood that this was actually wrong and the first case was actually correct. Okay, so now we have to just fill here. Now any other information that you have, the immediate neighbor of Sushil face same direction of Nilesh, same direction as Sushil. Immediate neighbor of Nilesh faces the same direction as Varun. Okay, so here we have this information that one of the immediate neighbors of Vikas faces north. Okay, one of the immediate neighbors of Vikas faces north. Okay, so what does it suggest? See, one of the immediate neighbors of Vikas means Vikas is not sitting at the end. Means Vikas can either sit on this position or this position. So these two star positions are actually having a doubt between Vikas and Tina, because about Tina, we know that Tina can be written on either of these two positions, and about Vikas also we got to know that Vikas cannot be written at an extreme end because he says one of the immediate neighbor of Vikas, one of the, means there are two but one of them. Okay, so in the last, now we are left with just one name, which is Sushil. So here I am going to write Sushil. So what was the information of Sushil? Immediate neighbor of Sushil face the same direction as Sushil. So immediate neighbor of Sushil is Sneha, so Sushil will also face north. Okay, next. Okay, any other information that we can pick? One of the immediate neighbors of Vikas faces north. This is what he says. Okay, so we are going to consider this information later on. Okay, so the immediate neighbor of Nilesh faces the same direction as Nilesh. Okay, immediate neighbor of Nilesh faces the same direction as Varun. Sorry, okay, it is about Varun. So where are we going to fill it now? Now both the immediate neighbors of Sneha face opposite directions. So one neighbor of Sneha is Sushil, who is facing north, then other neighbor of Sneha will face south. Okay, right. And we have this information that Vikas is not facing south. Now this line clarifies that Vikas will be sitting here. Because Vikas is not facing south, Vikas is facing north. And this position will be occupied by Tina. Okay, this position will be occupied by Tina. So this is your whole solution for this question. I hope this is clear to all the students, right? Okay, so now we have to just cover the facing part. Okay, so we have this information that immediate neighbor of Sushil face the same direction as Sushil. This is done. Okay, next is immediate neighbor of Nilesh faces the same direction as Varun. Okay, immediate neighbor of Nilesh is Vikas, who is facing north, so Varun is also facing north. Okay, next we have one of the immediate neighbors of Vikas face north. So one of the immediate neighbors of Vikas face north, that means Nilesh faces north. Okay, because one of the immediate neighbor of Vikas is Aman, who is facing south, then other neighbor should be facing north. Okay, next is, so we can find, we have solved the whole solution. We do not need to look for any other information, because now I can see my solution. I have facing of every person. I know the facing of every person. Also, I have positioned all the persons. So this is your complete solution. I hope this is clear to all the students. Kindly confirm in the comment section, is this clear to all? Okay, so now we are going to solve the questions based on the solution. What is the position of Mohan with respect to Sushil? So start answering me in the comment section. What is the position of Mohan with respect to Sushil? Okay, so Mohan with respect to Sushil, you have to check. Sushil is here. So from right of Sushil, Mohan is on 1, 2, 3, third position. Okay, so the answer here will be third to the right. That is option number B. Okay, is it clear? Students, this is not a GK section. This is reasoning part. Also, we are covering sitting arrangement today. So you must solve and comment your answers. Okay. Just by listening, you are not going to get anything, at least in this session, because in sitting arrangement, you must try it yourself also. Okay, so I hope this is clear. What is the position? Kaushiki Ranjan, please repeat in just okay, Kaushiki, we have just covered one question, so you can check out this question later on. So I'm just about to come on the second question, so you can proceed with that. Okay, so what is the position of Mohan with respect to Sushil? So we have done this. This is what? Third towards the right. Now, if Tina and Aman interchange their positions and Vikas and Mohan interchange their places, who among the following will be fourth to the left of Aman? This you have to answer. Okay, tell me. So Tina and Aman interchange their places. Okay. Tina and Aman interchange their places. Vikas and Mohan also interchange their places. So who will be fourth to the left of Aman? Now Aman changes position with Tina. Okay. So if Aman comes on the position of Tina, right? So who will be fourth to the left of Aman? It will be the position of Vikas, and Vikas has changed position with Mohan. So the answer here will be option number C. Okay, correct. It will be option number C. Next question, who sits at the extreme left end of the line? Now, who sits at the extreme left end of the line? Okay, so in the extreme end, I can find it is either Sushil or Nilesh. Okay, so the answer here will be option number. Okay, he's saying extreme left end. Okay, so in the extreme left end, I can find it is Sushil. Okay, so the answer will be option number B. Okay, so what is the position of Vikas with respect to that person who is second to the left of Mohan? Now, who is the person who is second to the left of Mohan? It is Aman. Okay, so what is position of Vikas with respect to Aman? He is asking. Okay, where is Vikas with reference to Aman? Okay, so the answer here will be correct. It is actually, see, Vikas with respect to that person who is second to the left of Mohan. So it is Aman, and from Aman you can find it is immediate left, not immediate right, Kaushiki. It is immediate left actually. That is option number A. Okay. Next question, which of the following statements is true? Sneha sits second to the left of Mohan. That's wrong because Sneha sits second to the right of Mohan. Okay. Next is Vikas is immediate right of Varun. Vikas is not even sitting with Varun. This is wrong. Sushil sits on the immediate left of Sneha. That's correct, and is facing north. This is correct. Sushil actually sits on the immediate left of Sneha and is facing north. Okay, so the final answer here will be option number C. Okay, students, so now you have the next question that I want you all to try. Okay, again giving you 5 minutes to try this, and then I'm going to discuss. Okay, so let us start solving this, and confirm me with the word done in the comment section if you are done with this question with the whole solution in just 5 minutes. I should know who all were able to solve this question in 5 minutes. So you must confirm me in the chat box if you are going to solve this in 5 minutes. Okay, so let us start. Okay, I hope you all are trying this. 2 minutes are left. So let us start discussing this question. I hope you all have tried. So just tell me in the comment section who all feel that you can do this. If we are going to get at least 2 or 3 minutes more, you will be able to solve this. Who all feel this? Just tell me in the comment section. Okay. So what we people do, obviously you know that in your exam you're not going to get an easy question. Okay, it will be moderate to high level, right? You already know this. So what we people do, we just try to merge some lines to make a bigger information so that I can easily put it in my row. Okay, so we are simply going to expand the solution. So like here we have, now 8 people are there. They are sitting in a straight line facing north. Okay, each of them is born in different months. So here you have a puzzle and arrangement both. Okay, now J sits third to the right of the person who born in May. Okay, so if I start with May, so J sits third to the right. On the right side of May, you have to write J. Okay, so this is occupying 4 positions, but I have 8 positions in my row, right? So let's find any other information which is related to J and May. Okay, so any other information which is, here we have the person who is born in August sits second to the right of J. So second to the right of J means here I'm going to write August. Now this makes the information for how many positions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this occupies 6 positions, but I still have 2 more positions in my row. Okay, so what else I have now? In your question you can find about D and H. A lot of times they are referring to D and H. So what is it? So he says in the last that D and H are immediate neighbors of each other. Now D and H are immediate neighbors of each other. Okay, so D and H will be written together, but he says that neither D nor H born in either May or August. Now D and H cannot be written in the month of May and August. Okay, neither D nor H is an immediate neighbor of J. Now they are not an immediate neighbor of J. Okay, D and H cannot be the immediate neighbor of J. Now what we understand with this, that starting from May till August, I cannot fit in D and H between them. So D and H have to be written together. This is already mentioned that they are immediate neighbors of each other, so they have to be written together. Okay, but where can we write this? So either you are going to write the combination of D and H in the starting, or you are going to write the combination of D and H in the ending. So what we understand from May to August, this will be the sequence that we have to consider. But about D and H, either it will be written in the first 2 positions or in the last 2 positions, because those 2, that is D and H, have to be together. And one more thing, D and H cannot be filled in between May to August. Okay, so is this much clear to you all? Students, is this much clear to you all? I hope this is clear to you all. Yes. So now let us fill the whole solution in our main row. Okay, so here I am going to write May. First place I have reserved for D and H. Okay, but still I have a doubt that where I'm going to position D and where I'm going to position H. We still have a doubt about that. Okay, now May I have written. After May, leaving 2 positions, I'm going to write J, and after J, leaving 1 position, I'm going to write August. Okay, so this is the first possibility that can occur, and second possibility is like if first 6 positions I occupy from May to August and last 2 positions I reserve for D and H. So then it will be May in the starting, leaving 2 positions, next will be J, leaving 1 position, next will be August, and after that these 2 positions are reserved for D and H. So students, just confirm in the comment section, is this much clear to you all? Because this is the most important question, you must understand it well. So just confirm in the comment section if this much clear to you all, because once you put your solution in a row, then it already becomes easy for you to solve, right? Okay. So let us start. Now the lines that I have underlined, I have already filled those. Okay. J sits third to the right of the person born in J. I have done. The person born in August sits second to the right of J. Already done. Okay. Now neither D nor H considered. Okay. And D and H are immediate neighbors considered. Okay. So what are the lines that are left? So here we have, now here we have to solve arrangement as well as puzzle. Both we have to solve. Now J is born after D. Now J is born after D. Okay. Next we have F was born before July. Now F was born before July. I'm simply solving this whatever I can do. Okay. Now see this. K sits third to the right of the person who born in Jan. Okay. K sits third to the right of the person born in Jan. Now the person born in Jan, right side I have to write K, but he says that neither D nor H born in Jan. Also K born in one of the months mentioned above but not in August. Now K is not born in the month of August. Not born in the month of August. Okay, so what can be done for this? Now if I consider the first possibility for Jan, he says that D and H cannot be filled in Jan. Okay, so if I consider first possibility, now first position is of D and H, second position is also of D and H. So in the first and second position, I cannot write the month of Jan. Third position is May. So Jan cannot be filled. Now in the fourth position, if I write Jan, so after the month of Jan, leaving two positions, I'll have to fill K. So this can be done. But if I move forward, like if I write Jan on this position, then I'll have to write K on the month of August, but he has refused to do that. So this clears that we are going to fill Jan and K like this. Okay. Now in the second possibility, just check yourself. How can I fill this in the second possibility? Okay, in the second possibility, if you consider the month of Jan and K, now first is May, second position if I fill with Jan, and after that leaving two positions you have to fill K. But if I move one step further, then next position is for the month of August where I cannot write K, and last two positions are already reserved for D and H where I cannot fill K. Okay, so this is the only positioning possible for the month of Jan and K. Okay, is this much clear how we have handled the information related to the month of Jan and K? Okay, right. So now let's move further. Only two people sit between H and the person born in July. So what he says, there are only two persons between H and the person born in July. So accordingly, where can I write H? So in the first possibility, if I consider this, if I take first position as H, then fourth position is already occupied by Jan. I cannot fill this because he says H and July, there are two people between them. Okay, so if I write H here, so in this position it is Jan. So if I want to fill July, I'll have to consider second position as H. Okay, so this clarifies the confusion between D and H in the first possibility, that we'll have to write H on the second position and D on the first position so that I can fill July after two positions of H. Okay. So this is how you are going to fill H and July, right? But in the second case, there is still a doubt about H, because in both the places I can fill H and July can be filled accordingly. Okay, right, because both J and K are vacant, so July can be filled on both J and K. Okay, so we still have a doubt for the second possibility for D and H, but this doubt is clear for first case. Okay, next is the person born in, okay, one more information we have about H and D. Only one person sits between H and D. Now this information actually clears the doubt in the second possibility, because if there is one person between H and D and I am taking H here, so here I cannot fill E. For that I'll have to take H on this position. So this clarifies where am I going to take H and D. Okay, so H will be written here and E will be written here and D will be written here. Okay, so now I can fill both the informations. The line only two people sit between H and July, I'm going to fill this in the second case. Now if H is in the last position, so July will come in the month of K. And the information that was only one person sits between H and D, if there is only one person who sits between H and D, so H is there in the first possibility. If I check, if H is on the second position, so E will be written in the month of Jan. So I hope this is clear to you all. right? So I hope this is clear to all the students, right? Okay. Next is the person born in Feb sits immediate left of G. The person born in Feb sits immediate left of G. So Feb and G should be written like this. Okay. And next in the H is born after April. H is born after April. Okay. And D was born before April. D was born before April. So if you consider, I have picked all the lines from the paragraph. Either they are solved in the solution or they are written outside the solution. But I have picked all the lines from your paragraph. Okay. So here what you find that, okay. So Feb and G we were considering, where can I fill Feb and G? Now, if I consider the first possibility, if I write Feb on D, then I won't be able to write G on the second position because second position is occupied by H. So, if I write Feb on H, but that is not possible. Writing Feb on H is not possible because H is after the month of April. So, H cannot be Feb. Okay. So, if I write Feb on the J, on the position of J, I cannot fill G then. And if I write Feb on K, I can fill G on August. Okay. And in the second possibility, if I check, where can I write Feb? So it cannot be filled in any position because all these are occupied. So if I write G here, before that we have Jan and here we have May. So this makes second possibility wrong. Okay. So with this we understand that second possibility is actually wrong and we have to just complete the first one. Okay. So now let us solve this. Now we already know. Okay. We already know about Feb and G we have filled. Okay. So about D and H. Now D is before April and H is after April. So that means both D and H cannot be the month of April. So the month of April will be filled on J. Okay. And now just check which are the months that are left. We are done with the month of Jan. Okay. Feb we are done. Okay. Next March we have not done yet. After March, April done. Okay. May done. June not done. July done. And August done. Okay. So we are left with March and June. So now D is before April. So D will be March. And H is after April. So H will be June. Okay. So now if I check about the person, about the name of the person. Okay. So I'm left with which person? D, H, E, J, K, G is done. Okay. So I'm left with I. Right. And I'm left with F. These two people are left. So about F, he says that F is before July. Now, if F is before July, so F will be written on the month of May and I will be written on the month of July. And this is how we are going to solve this. So PK done, very good. Okay, so I hope this is clear to all the students. Now, these two questions were very tricky, but if you have understood them well, you are definitely going to benefit from this explanation in your exam because you got to know the whole approach, how we have to start. Okay, so now let's solve the questions based on this. Okay, so answer me this. So who among the following sits exactly between H and E? So you have to answer who among the following sits exactly between H and E. It is F, or the person born in the month of May. So that is there in option number A. The person who is born in the month of May is your answer. That is option number A. Okay. Next is which of the following is true regarding H? Which of the following is true regarding H? Now this you have to tell. First says only two people should sit to the left of H. That is wrong. It is just one person. G is sitting second to the right of the person born in July. So G is sitting second to the right of the person born in July. The person born in July is I. Okay, so G sits second to the right of that person. That is wrong. H and D are immediate neighbors of G. That is also wrong. G is born in May. Again wrong. So here the answer will be none of the above. So I hope this is clear. Yes. Now, how many people sit between F and the person born in April? Now there are how many person between F and the person born in April? There are 2 persons. So that is option number C. The answer here will be option number C. Okay. Now who are sitting at the extreme ends of the line? Who are sitting at the extreme ends of the line? It is D and G, which is there in option number A. Okay. Now here comes the next question. I want you all to try this. Students, we are done with 10 questions already and we have to cover 25 questions, means 15 more questions we have to cover. And if you are going to discuss and understand and try all these 25 questions, your question of linear sitting arrangement in your examination will be definitely done. Okay, so let's try this now. Okay. Okay, giving you 5 minutes to try this. Students, quickly answer me whether you have done solving this, because first 2 questions were quite tricky, but now we are coming to some easy questions, right? Now this is also important for your examination because we are covering moderate to high level. So previous 2 questions were high level. Now we are covering some moderate level questions. I wanted to cover high level in the starting so that you understand them well in the starting of the session only. But now, even now, I'm not covering easy ones. I'm covering some moderate to little higher level. Okay, so try this, and I'm expecting from you all, if you have understood the previous 2 questions, you are definitely going to solve this. So confirm in the comment section with the word done if you have made the complete solution for this. Okay, see, there are 10 friends. They are sitting in 2 parallel rows of 6 seats each, and 1 seat is vacant in each row. Okay, I'll be solving this in the next slide because here the space is very less. Okay, so I would request you all to take a screenshot of this question also, because when we are going to discuss this, I'll be on the next slide where the font will be very small. Okay, so try this question also, take a screenshot of this. Okay, so should we start discussing this question now? I hope you all have taken the screenshot of this question. So let's make a row of 6 people and there will be 2 parallel rows. And they are facing each other. Also, they are facing each other. Okay. And by names, we already know that M, N, O, P, Q, they are sitting on the row 1, and D, E, F, G, H, they are sitting in row 2. Okay. So this is what is given in the question. So I hope you have taken the screenshot of the previous slide, so that because I needed some space to discuss with you all. So here in this slide already the question is given, but you might find the font of this question small. Okay. So, right. So should we start discussing this? Kindly confirm in the comment section. Can I start solving this? Okay, so see what information can we pick in the starting. Like here, if you find that G sits third to the right of F and likes Lee. So about G and D, he says in the last, he's giving you some information about G and F, that neither G nor F sits at any extreme end of the row. Now G sits third to the right of F. Now both G and F are in the second row, that is north facing row. Okay. So G sits third to the right of F. So from F towards right, here I'm going to write G. Means there are 2 positions between F and G. Also he says one more thing, that neither G nor F sits at any of the extreme ends of the row. So this makes it very clear that F will be written on this position and G will be written on this position. Also he informs that G likes Lee. So I'm going to write Lee on the position of G. Okay. So students, I have started. So should we discuss this, or you are still crying? Give me some feedback. Okay, so we have considered these two, F and G, right? So next thing what we can do is just pick any line which is related to G and F. Okay, so which is the line that is related to G and F. So here we have that the one who likes USPA sits opposite to the one who sits third right of the person who sits opposite to G. Now there is some person who is opposite to G. You have to move third right of that person, okay, and then opposite to that person you are going to write USPA. So just consider this on the row in your solution. So opposite to G is this position, and towards right third position is this, and opposite to this position is the position where F is sitting. So that means USPA will be written on the position of F. Okay, so this clarifies that how we are going to fill this USPA. Okay, so any other information that can be filled related to these names that we have already used, that is F, G, USPA or Lee. Okay. Students, are you able to understand this? Kindly give me some feedback. I am waiting for your feedback. Okay. Yes. So now let's move further. Now here you have that P faces F. So opposite to F, I'm going to write P. P will be written here. Okay. So let's find any other information which is related to P and F. Okay. So here you have this line that 2 seats are there between O and N. Who sits third right of the one who likes Dennis Lingo. Okay. Now these are the names. One more information. The one who likes Peter England faces the one who likes Lee. Okay. So opposite Lee we have to fill Peter England. Okay. One more information, the one who likes USPA faces the one who likes Highlander. Opposite to USPA, you have to write Highlander. Okay, so now this is also filled. So we have filled all this, right? So now what else we can do? Okay, what else we can do? Now here we have some information related to only two people sit between E and the vacant seat. Now this is definitely about the second row, that there are two persons between E and the vacant seat. Okay. Now E does not like Venhausen or USPA. So USPA is already for F. So it can be Venhausen, which is doubtful for at least for E, but it is saying that E does not like Venhausen. Okay. Now Q is not an immediate neighbor of O. Okay. So Q is not an immediate neighbor of O. So we are going to check it later on. Q is not sitting with O. Okay. Now N likes John Miller. Okay, now N likes John Miller. We are going to consider this later on. Okay, now O is not an immediate neighbor of P. Now this suggests that O cannot be written on these two positions. Okay, because O is not an immediate neighbor of P. Now H who likes Venhausen. Now this already clears that E does not like Venhausen. Now H who likes Venhausen. Okay, wait. He's not saying likes. He's saying H who likes neither Venhausen nor John Player does not face the vacant seat. Okay, we are going to look for that later on. Now, vacant seats are not opposite to each other. We are not going to write them just opposite to each other. Okay, now just consider the next line. Two seats are there between O and N. N who sits third to the right of the one who likes Dennis Lingo. Okay, so first I'm going to write Dennis Lingo. Okay, and third right, you have to, now obviously if N is sitting third to the right of the Dennis Lingo, so N is there in the south facing row. Okay, so Dennis Lingo right, where is the right side of Dennis Lingo? That you have to check. Dennis Lingo. Okay, so where is the right side? It will be backward. Okay, so Dennis Lingo, backward to Dennis Lingo on the third position. I'm going to write N. And what he says that there are two seats between O and N. Now just see that N and Dennis Lingo, this information is already covering 4 positions. Okay. And if there are two seats between N and O, and if I proceed O much backward, so it is going to exceed the number of 6. So if there are two seats between N and O, so O will be written on Dennis Lingo. And also if you remember, he had already told that N likes John Miller. So on N, you have to write John Miller. Okay, right? Okay, so this information we have used. The person who likes arrow and the Highlander are adjacent to each other. So with Highlander, I have to write arrow on on any positions out of these. Okay, right? So vacant seat of row 1 is not an immediate neighbor of P. Now row 1, vacant seat of row 1 is not an immediate neighbor of P. So these two positions are also not occupied by O. Also these two are not vacant. These two are also not vacant. Okay. So this clears that, okay, E sits at one of the extreme end of the row. Now E is sitting at end. Already he has told you that E is sitting at the end, but still we have a doubt because we are not sure that whether that is the left end or it is going to be the right end. We are not sure about that. Okay. So next is F does not like arrow and Highlander. So that's fine. It will obviously not like Highlander and arrow because F is in the north facing row and arrow and Highlander will be in the south facing row. Okay, so this information we do not need anymore. Vacant seat of row 1 does not face G, who does not sit at any of the extreme ends. Okay, now vacant seat of row 1. Okay, vacant seat of row 1. It is not facing G. Okay, so vacant seat of row 1 is definitely not facing G because opposite to G, I have already filled Peter England. Okay, so this already clarifies the information. Okay, so now if I consider this information, because this is the only huge information that I have. Okay, so John Miller and O, where can I fill these two? Now this we understand definitely, because here if I write John Miller on the first position and this O will be written here. Okay, so vacant position will be written here. So that will not be able to solve the question well. Okay, because what he says what he says that John Miller and O, they will be written like this, okay? And then where can I fill the vacant position? Vacant position will be filled in the last, and then we already have to write arrow with Highlander, okay? So this will not be possible for us, right? So this clarifies that we are going to write, okay, so we are going to write N and John Miller on, okay, yeah. So we are going to write N and John Miller on this place, okay? And O will be written here and the name will be Dennis Lingo. Okay, right? So what he had told you previously, that there are some neighbors. He was telling you about some neighbors. Okay, so yes, the person who like arrow and the Highlander are adjacent to each other. So with Highlander, I have to write arrow. So this clarifies that this is the vacant position. This is actually the vacant position. Okay, so now O cannot be written on this position. O is already written there, right? Okay, so we have already filled all this. Okay, so now let's move on to another information. Now there is some information that, see, he says that there are two persons between E and the vacant position. Now this at least, and E is sitting at the end. Now this clarifies that vacant position can be either of these two positions, okay? Because vacant position cannot be at extreme end. Because if E is sitting at an extreme end and after E you have to miss two positions and then you have to fill the vacant position. So these two are the positions where I can fill the vacant seat. And in the first row, if vacant seat is here, so in the second row, I'll have to consider this position as the vacant seat. So I hope this is clear. Students, kindly confirm me in the comment section. Is this much question clear to you? Yes? Okay, so if this vacant seat is here, so I can fill E now. I can fill the position of E now. So E will be written here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to simply fill all the rest of the information that has been left. Okay, so here you have that H who likes neither Van Hossen nor John Player. Okay, so about H, he says H is in the second row. Okay, H is in the second row. So we are going to see that later on where that can be filled. Okay, one more thing, does not face the vacant seat. Now H is not facing the vacant seat. Now that clarifies that H will be written here. Okay, H will be written here. Right. The person who likes their adjacent vacant seat of row 1 is not an immediate neighbor of P. The vacant seat of row 1 is already not an immediate neighbor of P. Okay, that is already clear to us. Right. Okay. So, okay. So what else we can do? Now we have written all the brands and we are left with just few brands. What are the names of the brand that have been left? It is, one is Van Hossen. Okay, arrow we have filled, Wrangler we are done with. Okay, Wrangler is also not done. Wrangler is also not done. So we are left with these two brands here, right? So what are we going to do now? So we are simply going to fill. Okay, there are three brands that have been left. Let me check what is the third name. Okay, so it is Wrangler, right? Van Hossen. And one more brand, it is yes, it is John Player. It is John Player. Okay. So now in the second position, now in the second row, let's fill the names of the person if we can fill that. So we have D, E, F, G, H. So out of these, we have filled F, H, G and E. So we are left with just one name, which is D. And in the row above, we are left with which names we are done. We are not done with. It is, one is M, N, O, P done and Q. So we have two names which are M and Q. Okay. So here he says that vacant seat of row 1 is not an immediate neighbor of P. That's clear. So do we have any other information about either M or Q? Let's check. Do we have any information about M or Q? Yes, we have that Q is not an immediate neighbor of O. So if Q is not an immediate neighbor of O, so Q will be written here and M will be written here. So with this, we have completely solved the names of the person. We are still left with the brands. Okay, so names are John Player, Van Hossen and Wrangler. Okay, so these are the three names that we are left with. So okay, about E, he says E does not like Van Hossen. Okay, E does not like Van Hossen. H also does not like Van Hossen. So it is D actually, who likes Van Hossen. Okay, now we are left with two names which are John Player and Wrangler. So let's check if there is any information about John Player or Wrangler. Okay. Now H, about H he says H is also not liking John Player. So if H does not like John Player, so John Player will be written on the position of E, and in the position of H I am left with just one name, which is Wrangler. So this is your complete solution here. So I hope you all like the solution. They might ask you some question related to the vacant seat. So now you got to know it hardly makes any difference if you have a vacant seat in your question. Okay. So here, yes. Okay. So now let us solve the questions based on the solution. I hope this is clear to you all. Now in the given arrangement, if two people come and sit to the immediate, okay, if two people come and sit to the immediate left of E, how many people will sit between D and E? Okay, how many people will sit between D and E? Now this is your question. If two people come, already what you have in the second row D, then G and E. And this is a north facing row. Okay, and he says if two people come and sit to the immediate left of E, means two people are going to come here. Immediate left, okay, that is between G and D. So then how many persons will be between D and D? So there will be three persons between D and D. Then if there are two persons coming and they are sitting immediate left of E. Okay, so the answer here will be option number B. Now who among the following sits third to the right of F? Now who among the following sits third to the right of F? This you have to answer me. So the answer here will be the one who likes Lee. That is option number E, right? Okay, students, kindly confirm me. Is this clear to you all? Okay, which of the following faces the vacant seat of row 1? Which of the following faces the vacant seat of row 1? So vacant seat of row 1, opposite to vacant seat of row 1, who is it? Who is sitting? So it is D, who likes Van Hossen. The one who likes Van Hossen will be your answer. Okay, so next is that 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way. So you have to check in your solution how they are alike. Like I am going to write your solution. It is Q, P, N, then vacant, then MOS. And in the second row you have H, F, then vacant, then D, G, E and N. Okay. So here the first is about Q and D. So what is the relation between Q and D? And what is the relation between N and D? What is the relation between H and O? This you have to check. Okay. Now what is happening here is actually that Q and D, they are from the different rows. One is facing north, other is facing south. N and D, okay. Actually, this is your solution. Yeah. So what is about Q and D? Now Q and D are diagonally opposite. About N and D, now N and D you can find these two are here. H and O are diagonally opposite. P and G, they are coming here. Okay. and F and P. Now F and P, they are opposite to each other. All the rest of the pairs are on the same position from the opposite side, but F and P is wrong. It will be option number E. So the answer here will be option number E, because if you check Q and D, it is diagonally opposite. N and D, you can find the same relation. Okay. So the answer here will be option number E. Now next he is asking that who among the following sits at the extreme end of the line. Now who is sitting at extreme end of the line? It is QO, HE. Okay, so Q and D, they are sitting at the extreme end of the line. So the answer here will be option number A. So I hope this is clear, right? Okay, so the next question. So we are already done with 15 questions of your linear sitting arrangement. Now this is your question number 16th to 20th. Now just try this, giving you 5 minutes to try. Okay, let's try this question and keep on sharing the session with all your friends, because the student who have covered these 25 questions today are definitely going to benefit in their RBI Grade B examination, because you're going to find the same level of question in your exam. This is the exactly similar level of question that can come in your examination. Okay, so the next question, there are 10 people, they are sitting in two parallel rows. I'm clearing the whole line in the starting only so that you do not make any mistake. Now there are 10 people, they are sitting in two parallel rows containing 5 people each, in such a way that there is an equal distance between adjacent persons. So that is fine. In row 1, you have A, B, C, D and E, they are seated. And in row 2, you have P, Q, R, S and T, and they are seated. How? That some members are facing south and some members are facing north. So what does it mean? Actually, you have two rows, but the people sitting in two rows are not facing each other. They are just sitting opposite to each other, but they are not facing each other. They might be facing each other, but it is not sure. Okay, so here in a single row, there are 5 persons, and out of those 5 persons, there are some persons who are facing north and there are some persons who are facing south. Now this is a question of mixed facing. Let's see if we are able to solve this. Okay, so let's try this now, giving you 5 minutes to try and write the word done in the comment section if you have made the solution. Okay. So I hope you all are trying this question. So here you have 10 people, they are sitting in two parallel rows. So let us start solving this. Now here we have to be very clear about facing and positioning. Okay. So here he says, okay, good evening, Raju. Very late to the session. we have started taking session since 9 o'clock. Okay, done. Very good. PK done. Very good. So this is what happens. Keep on practicing the equations of sitting arrangement, and after 2 or 3 equations, you are going to solve the equations. You'll be able to solve the equations. Okay, so that's why I'm taking these sessions, but these will be helpful. These will be more helpful only if you're going to attend them live, so that you can ask me your doubts. Okay, so here now Q is sitting extreme end of the row. So I already know that Q will be sitting in the second row. Okay, so Raju, no problem. Just try to understand this question now. Okay, so Q is sitting extreme end of the row. Okay, so if Q is sitting at the extreme end of the row, so that suggests it will be either on the immediate left or in the immediate right of the second row. At least we are definite that Q will be sitting in the second row. So here we have this information that P is third to the right of Q. Also we have this information that Q faces north. Now Q is facing north, this he has already told, and if Q is facing north, so where is right of Q? Right of Q will be here, and on the third position I'll have to make P right. Okay, so Q I'm going to write here and P will be written here, and Q is facing north. So this is how I'm going to position P and Q, right? Okay, so next thing that we have to do is, now we are done with P and Q. Okay, so now if we have some information related to P and Q, I'm simply going to pick that. Okay, so here we have this, that D sits immediate left of the person who sits opposite to Q. Okay, D sits immediate left of the person who sits opposite to Q. Okay, so the person who is sitting opposite to Q, D will be sitting immediate left. Okay, D will be sitting immediate left. Okay, so if D is sitting immediate left, although we are not sure about the facing of this first position, but at least immediate, with the word immediate we understand that D will be sitting with the person. Okay, so D will be sitting with the person who is just opposite to Q, and the person who is opposite to Q is already sitting at an extreme corner. So it is only this position where I could position D. Okay, so any other information about D that we have? So only one person sits between D and A. So if D is on the second position, so A will be on the fourth position to maintain the information that there is only one person who is sitting between D and A. Okay, so another thing that we have, okay, let's mark the facing from this line, that D sits immediate left of the person who sits opposite to Q. Okay, so the person who sits opposite to Q and D is immediate left of that person, and if D is immediate left of that person, so that means that this person will be facing south, because it is possible only in the case of facing south. I'll just mark your north and south here. Okay, so if this person is if D is towards the left of this person, so this person must be facing south, right? Okay, so now any other information related to P, Q, D and A. So if we have that kind of information, so let us check. Here we have two persons sit between A and C. Now if there are two persons between A and C, so this clarifies C will be written only on this position. Okay, because there are two persons between A and C. Okay, now here we have this line, D is an immediate left of E. Now immediate means D is sitting with E, and then I'm going to write E here, and D is where? Immediate left of E. Where D is, it is just immediate left of E. So where is E? We are simply going to take the left of E here towards D, and if left of E is here, so E will be facing north. You can take help from here also. Okay, so this is how we are going to solve about E. Okay, and it is just one person who is left, and that person is B. So here I'm going to write B. Okay, so next information, that R is not an immediate neighbor of P. Now R is not an immediate neighbor of P, so R will be written here. Okay, we are going to write R here. Okay, and next is that T faces opposite direction to R. So we are not sure about the position of T. Next we have B is an immediate left of E. So if B is immediate left of A, sorry, it is about A. B is immediate left of A. So left of A is coming here towards B. So accordingly, A will be facing south, because here if I have to take left, so it will be south facing. Okay, so next is T second to the left of S, means there is a gap of 1 person between T and S. Okay, next thing, that E does not sit opposite to T. Now this clarifies that if E is not sitting opposite to T, so here I am going to write T and here I am going to write S. So now I can pick all the left out informations. Now T is second to the left of S. Now where T is sitting, that is left of S. So if this is the left, so this is in the case of south facing, that means S is facing south. Okay, next information, D and P faces the opposite direction. So we are not sure about facing of any of these. T is an immediate right of P. So where T is, that is just right of P. And if this is right of P, so P will be facing north. Only then I can say that T is immediate right of P. Okay, so we are done with the facing of P also. So previously there was some information that D and P faces opposite directions. So if P is facing north, so D will be facing south. Now E sits second to the left of P. So where E is, that is left of B. So B will be facing north. Okay. Now T is third to the left of R. Now T is where? Towards third left of R. Okay. So it is left of R. So where R will be facing? Okay. Here R will be facing south. Okay. So any information, now T faces opposite direction to R. Now R is facing south, so T will be facing north. So we are done with the whole solution. So I hope this is clear to all the students. Now this question, it just looked difficult because there was a mixture of north and south facing. Also there were 2 rows, but this question was not that difficult. It was very easy if you could have attempted. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, so who among the following sits opposite to E? So who is sitting just opposite to E? You can find this in your solution. It is option number D. Okay. Next question. Which of the following statements is true regarding D? Okay, which is true regarding D? D sits opposite to S. That is wrong. D faces south. That is correct. And sits immediate left of C. That is also correct. Okay. So here the answer will be option number B. Okay. Next question. Who is sitting opposite to C? Now this is your question, that who is sitting opposite to C? Okay, so just check your solution. It is actually Q who is sitting opposite to C. Now what is the position of S with respect to T? So where is S with respect to T? This you have to tell. Okay. So answer me this. Where is S with respect to T? So it is towards left of T and on the second position. So second to the left, that is option number E. Okay, now which is the odd one out? Now D is facing south, T is facing north, R is facing south, okay, C is facing south and S is also facing south. So it is just B who is facing north. So this is your odd one out. Okay, so now here you have the next question. So I want to give this question as homework to you all. Okay, so you must try this question and confirm me in the comment section if you were able to solve this. So I'm done with 20 questions and this a set of 5 questions, the last set of 5 questions I'm giving you as homework. So you will definitely be able to solve this if you have attended all the previous 4 questions well. Okay, so is the whole session clear to you? Right, so I hope you all have enjoyed today's class, because these sessions always prove helpful because you people are always scared for the arrangements, for the sitting arrangements and puzzles in your exam. So that's why we are taking more sessions on this, so that your fear related to the arrangements and puzzles vanishes. Okay, so I hope you all have enjoyed today's class and this session has proved helpful for all of you. Okay, so who have joined late, I request you to watch the session again. Okay, in the last, I would like to inform you that we have already started with the crash course. If you want to join, do not delay to join the batch. Okay. Also, we have our Telegram channel, which is for all the regulatory exams, where you get daily updates of news of the day, question of the day, mind map for the day, top 10 MCQ, PDF of live important announcements, and free ebooks. So if you want to avail this benefit of our Telegram channel, which is completely free, okay, you can get all the material completely free, right? So you just subscribe, you just click on the link that is there in the description. You are going to find the link to join the Telegram channel in the description. Okay, so this is our YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet and you are preparing for the regulatory exam, so quickly subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you get all the notifications whenever we are taking any of the important sessions. Okay, so thank you so much, students. Going to meet in the next class with more such sessions which are going to prove very helpful for your RBI Grade B examination. Thank you so much.